All right. All right. Let's get the dome in position. Maybe a little. Welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's double check to make sure everything can be seen and heard. Chat's up and running. Actually, is it up and running? All right, let me know if you're having any issues in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get started here. Welcome. No fancy Hawaiian shirt today for a variety of reasons. I'm cold, like literally, figuratively, indoors, outdoors, every sense of the word. It's 50 degrees here in Vegas. I'm soft. I've gotten so soft over the years growing up in the Northeast, and now it's disappointing, to say the least. Went on a hike yesterday, flat hike, so more like a walk, but it was cold. It's cold today, so now I'm in sweatshirts. Also, the picks continue to suck for the last 2 weeks, so figuratively cold. We're going to write that ship today. I like today's card. Didn't like last week's card, like today's card. Welcome in. A reminder for those of you who are here, thank you. As always, check out my friends at Oddshark, oddshark.com. We'll be back streaming again later this afternoon when the last afternoon game completes. We are going to go live to preview Bucks and Saints. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to go over the recap of where we're at record-wise. But if I go cold today, and even if I don't, I might have 15 bets for tonight's game. Feels like one of those games. And I'm going to tell you in advance. Not sharp, not inside information, just a degenerate gambler who's going to do his research, probably make some emotional picks as well, and pop off big tonight. So that's what I'm feeling like. I'm going to set the stage for all of this right now. I'm going to give you some very well-reasoned picks in a little bit. Tonight could be chaos. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But I got to get back, and I'm going to chase. So the recap. Gave out 5 picks on Thursday. I want to start with one that I'm not going to count. And it's a winner. I'm not counting a loser. I gave out Iowa on Thursday, and I kept talking about how Iowa was getting points. I had a total brain misfire, and I kept saying Iowa +7, Iowa +6.5, plus. And then I realized after the stream, a bunch of people are reaching out to me asking me, what the hell are you talking about? Iowa's laying points. Did you mean Michigan State? Did you mean Iowa? I meant Iowa. Iowa smashed Michigan State, but I made it very confusing, and the analysis was terrible. So I'm not counting the win. I'm not counting that win. I'm just going to take that game off the table. It was a winning pick because I was saying pick Iowa, but I made it so confusing for all of you because I had a total brain misfire. So I'm just not even going to count that winner. I'm going to take that one off the table. I'm going to count the losers. There were plenty of them. The Niner Packer under, bullshit. I told myself I don't want to swear on the stream anymore, but bullshit. Kyle Shanahan. So everyone on your team is banged up. You're getting run out of your own building. You're going to call timeouts late for what? Your guys need the work? Get out of here with that. That's the thing with the NFL this year. And in college to an extent, you cannot bet unders. Like no unders are safe in any situation. I know I bet one recently that won. I can't even remember what it was. But that was just complete bullshit. That game was trending the entire way in our direction. So that was a loser. Aaron Rodgers under passing yards was a loser. And Clemson was a loser yesterday. The winner was Colorado State on Friday night. Yay, whoopee. So 1-3, not counting the Iowa win. Want to make that very clear. 1-3. Now 66-77. Incredible. I had fought all the way back to get to even and then a little bit above. And now I'm like 4-22, 4-21 over the last week and a half on this thing. A cold streak for the ages, which is why we should just wear the hoodie up the rest of the way on this thing. Bandon Dunes, by the way, can't wait to get back there. Hey, if anyone from Bandon's watching, I'm a huge fan. Okay, so that's that rant. 2 things before we break everything down. Clemson Notre Dame was awesome last night. The game lived up to the expectations. Everyone played great football. I don't know what Dabo was doing at the end. They're running out of bounds, not forcing Notre Dame to use timeouts. I don't get any of that. I'll say this. I think both teams are still in the playoff. I don't think there's going to be – that was the ultimate scenario to get both teams in the playoffs. Notre Dame now has the deck clear to go undefeated. They get into the playoff. Bama should be in the playoff. Ohio State's rolling everybody. They should be in the playoff. And Clemson gets in. Perfect excuse. Hey, we didn't have Lawrence. Even though Uiagalelei ended up having this great game, and he's going to be good. It's a perfect excuse. Clemson's still a really good team. Those are going to be your 4. I'd book that now. It's the most obvious 4, but that's what I'd book. Who else is getting in? Florida, A&M. You got to get past Bama. A&M's not going to get another shot at Bama. Florida will, but Florida doesn't have the defense, although that was a great game yesterday against Georgia. Down 14-0. Instead of packing it in, they rallied. They played really well. So that was rant number 1. Rant number 2, in the chat, if you were forced to bet your 401k or your savings or however you want to look at it on Dallas-Pittsburgh today, which way would you go? Would you lay 14.5 with Pittsburgh, or would you take 14.5 with Dallas? Kind of an informal poll. I want to get a sense of where everyone's at on that. Hit up the chat, Dallas, Pittsburgh, DP, however you want to indicate it. I don't care. Let me know what you think. Pittsburgh's the first one out of the gate. No surprises. Buy it down to 13.5. Not an option. Steelers. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Steelers. Cowboys plus money line? No, not an option. Steelers. Pittsburgh or tease it out? Not an option. Straight bets. Point I'm getting at here is that's what everyone's going to say, right? We talk about this on the stream. Zig when everyone else is zagging. I'm not telling you to bet the Cowboys. What I'm saying is this. I don't think it's going to be that obvious with that game today. Notes. Did notes for you. Although I never actually show you the notes. These could be blank pieces of paper. You would have no idea. But they're notes. They're notes. Not accurate notes, it appears, based on the way these last few picks have gone. Where is this? All right. So this Pittsburgh game today. Pittsburgh's playing its 3rd straight road game. All right. Huge win over the Titans. Huge win over Baltimore. We'll get into that Colts game. I see people asking about that now. Huge win over Baltimore. And then now they got Dallas. 3rd straight road game. Since 2000, teams playing in their 3rd straight road game. 32-42 straight up. 34, 39, and 1 against the spread. It's not a great spot for the Steelers. Again, I'm not telling you to bet the Cowboys. I'm just saying, informal poll, everybody wants to take the Steelers, right? They're undefeated. They just beat the Ravens. Dallas is trash. They've been trash every week. They consistently throw up on themselves. And yet here we are. I would be weary. I know the situation looks awful. This is just a word of caution as we get the chat rolling today. So we're going to go through any games that I don't cover with the actual picks. Colts-Baltimore is one of the games that I'm not picking. We'll discuss. So just fire those at me when we get to that point, and I'm happy to go through any of those games. Weather today looks good. Not in Vegas. Looks like it's going to rain. Very cold. 50 degrees, unacceptable. But everywhere else it looks good. Buffalo, Seattle looks like it's going to be nice. Every game today, there's no calling for wind or inclement weather, so we should be pretty good to go without having to worry about that. That's number 1. Injuries, number 2. All right, let's rattle through this. Kenny Galladay's out for Detroit. Gardner Minshew out for Jacksonville. Sammy Watkins is out for the Chiefs. Russell Okung is out for Carolina. Devontae Freeman out for the Giants. Golden Tate out for the Giants. Kenyon Drake out for the Cardinals. Myles Gaskin out for the Dolphins. Matt Breida is out for the Dolphins as well. Chris Carson out for Seattle. So is Carlos Hyde. Des Bryant has been activated for the Ravens. I love it how they think wide receiver is the problem. It's not that the quarterback isn't a good pocket passer. It's wide receiver that's the issue. Okay, sure, got it. He's been activated. Keenan Allen for the Chargers needs to pass additional COVID tests to be cleared for this Raiders game. Calvin Ridley questionable, did not practice. They're going to test him in pregame. This is all, I'm just reading Schefter's tweets. This isn't any sort of inside information. Matthew Stafford was activated. It looked like he wasn't going to play due to COVID. He's fine. He passed it already. Keenan Allen, random person in the live chat. I'll take your word for it. Christian McCaffrey's back. Michael Thomas is expected back. Antonio Brown's playing today. Every single Antonio Brown prop they can find, we're betting that tonight. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm going to make minimum 10 bets. Minimum 10 bets tonight. I wanted to say 20, and then I thought if one of these damn games goes to overtime, like last week, and we only have a 5-minute window, no one's going to want to watch a stream for 20 minutes with some idiot laying out 20 bets without having an opportunity to get down, to bet on them or against them. So minimum 10 bets. I'm going to bet every Antonio Brown prop I can find. I'm getting after that game tonight. So let's turn it around now and then come in hot. Come in drinking, all that good stuff. All right, so there's your injuries. Let's go through line moves and then let's make some picks. Seattle was a 2-point favorite on the look-ahead line at Buffalo. That is up to 3. It's been Seattle money early and often. Atlanta was a 3-point favorite hosting Denver. That is up to 4. The total also got bet up from 47 to 49. Denver's going to be without both starting corners. Damn, I just saw this a little while ago. The names are escaping me. Let me get it for you. I want to be accurate. We pride ourselves on our efficiency and accuracy around here. Bryce Callahan, AJ Boye, Chris Harris. All out. All out. Matt Ryan could have a field day, but do you really want to lay 4 with the Falcons considering how they play football? Although they've been okay. You know what? Now that you think about it, they won the Thursday game against Carolina. They slid another win in there a few weeks ago. I think it was Minnesota. Would they win 2 of 3? They're hot by their standards. Tennessee was a 6.5-point favorite. Bears money just started showing up and knocked that down to 6. Let me confirm that. Yeah, that's 6 at almost every shop. A little bit of Bears money there. Minnesota was a 2.5-point favorite on the look-ahead line over Detroit. It got up to 4.5, then down to 3.5. A lot of that had to do with the Stafford COVID stuff. Little over money there as well, from 50.5 up to 51.5. Baltimore and the Colts. Baltimore was a 3-point favorite on the look-ahead line. Colts are now a 1-point favorite. There is a 4-point swing there. I'll break this down because someone in the chat was asking about it earlier. So they're betting it like they already know the outcome of it, right? That's issue number 1. I was making a case for Baltimore this morning. So essentially, I think the logic, outside of the fact that so many Baltimore defenders didn't practice this week due to COVID concerns, but they're all cleared to play. So perhaps maybe they didn't get the week of practice in. They don't perform well. I don't know. I looked at this and I thought to myself, Baltimore sucked last week against Pittsburgh. Extremely undisciplined football. 4 turnovers, 9 penalties. Matthew Judon got thrown out of that game. I've got to assume that Harbaugh, what else would you say after that loss, right? You're going to preach discipline. They lost their head. They made a lot of sloppy mistakes. So I figure we're going to get a focused effort here. Now, all this money, everyone betting the Colts, I think the thought process is, outside of the COVID thing, that Indianapolis is a very good run defense. They've got good linebackers. They're fast on defense, and that they're going to be able to defend Lamar Jackson when he tries to run. Therefore, he's going to have to try to throw like last week, and therefore they're going to have problems. Okay, I can see that line of thinking. And if that's why they're betting it, you want to bet against Lamar Jackson? Let's get nuts. Okay, I get it. The one thing about the Colts is that Phillip Rivers is a concern. And Rivers and the Colts have played virtually nobody this year. All right. They are, I think, 5-2. And the 7 opponents they've played are combined 18, 34, and 1. All right. They've played 2 teams with a winning record. One was the Browns, and they lost that game. And one was the Bears, and they won that game. And the Bears aren't a great winning team. I think we all know that at this point. So that's the Colts in a nutshell. So if they're not able to play comfortable like they were against these bad teams that they played, where you don't have to lean on Rivers as much, how does that offensive performance go? That's one of the reasons I like Baltimore. I don't like the move. I'm not making the play. But essentially, that's my logic there. This line has moved dramatically. I think people feel the matchup is really good for the Colts defense to bottle up Lamar. I get that. It's why I'm not going to bet the Ravens, but I'm not going to bet the Colts because I think the Raven defense shows up today and they're going to put Rivers in some tight spots. And if Baltimore gets a lead on you, that's when they become extremely dangerous because they can do anything they want. When they're trailing, that's when they stink. So that's just where I'm at right now. Asking about Atlanta and the Broncos over. That was one of those games this week that as I was scrolling down, pass. Didn't even bother trying to cap that game. Wanted nothing to do with it. No idea. Over, though, I mean, I guess that would be the play. I don't know. Is Denver going to be able to put their points up? That's the question. So going on with the line moves. KC was a 10-point favorite over Carolina. Still a 10-point favorite. Christian McCaffrey's going to play. Houston was a 4-point favorite. They're now up to 6.5 against Jacksonville. No Gardner Minshew in that game. Luton's going to be starting. Under money in that game as well, from 50.5 down to 48. Baltimore seeing over money. I forgot about that. From 45 up to 48. The Reds, Washington football team. Not today. They were a 3.5-point favorite over the Giants on the look-ahead line. They are now a 2.5-point favorite. Ooh, threes are popping up. Yep, there they are right now. It's actually a 3-point favorite. Damn, I should have hurried up and gave that pick out because I like that one. Huge mistake, Fortenbaugh. Too much time trying to make your stupid jokes. And let's see. The Chargers were a 3-point favorite. That's another game they're betting like they know the outcome. The Raiders have gone from a 3-point dog to a 1-point favorite. I mean, can you blame them? Raiders are playing sound football at the very least. And the Raiders, while this is a short road trip, Vegas over to LA, Raiders have been good on the road. They've won at Carolina. They've won at the Chiefs. They've won at the Browns. They've played well on the road. I am starting to reassess my position on them. I was not very fond and or positive about them early. I still think the defense has concerns, but they've been an intriguing watch. And winning on the road, you got to be able to win on the road in the NFL if you're going to be a good playoff team, right? Like that used to be the Raiders thing. They could win some games here and there, but they weren't doing it on the road. Now they can do it on the road. All right. So that's that one. And then Arizona is all the way back up to 6. Went as low as 4. Now it's up to 6. A little over money in that game as well. So Tampa, New Orleans, we'll do that spread later today. We'll talk about all that. Here are the picks for today. Damn, I'm giving out like the worst numbers because of everything that's happened in the market. That's okay. We're going to stay positive. Number 1, I'm laying the 3 with Seattle against Buffalo. Don't tell my wife, although she probably already knows. She's probably watching Daily Wager this morning. Seattle is pick number 1. So I don't need to say a whole lot about the Seahawks, but I'm going to give you 2 things. Number 1, for some reason, they thrive playing on the East Coast. Absolutely thrive. The last 10 trips to the Eastern time zone, Seattle's 10-0. 10-0. 8-1-1 against the spread, and they are winning those games by an average of 7 points per game. That's impressive. They're also going to have Carlos Dunlap, who they got from Cincinnati, pass rusher, and Jamal Adams, both expected to play today. So reinforcements for the defense. That's all I wanted to say about Seattle, because the focus of this bet is against the Bills. Buffalo's got a really nice 6-2 record. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. But look at the first 4 games of the season versus the last 4 games of the season. First 4, they come out hot. They're 4-0. They average 31 points a game, 410 yards per game. Josh Allen, 12 TDs to 1 interception. People talking about Allen for MVP, or at least in the same conversation. Last 4 games, they go from 4-0 to 2-2. They go from 31 points a game to 19 points a game. They go from 410 yards a game to 334 yards per game. Allen, 12 TDs and 1 pick, all the way down to 4 TDs and 4 picks. I see that as opposing defenses figuring out what Buffalo was doing, making necessary adjustments and stifling what they were doing so well on offense. That's how I see it. And I think that's a big problem for them because this is a potential shootout today. Now, most people will tell you, the Seattle defense sucks. They haven't been great. They give up more yards than anybody. They don't give up more points than anybody. All right? They might not be as awful as it indicates. So, with all that being said, laying the 3 with Seattle is pick number 1 today. I like the situation. I think Seattle's going to get theirs offensively. I don't think Buffalo's going to be able to keep pace. Josh, and last week, they got over the hump of beating New England. Like, they finally beat New England, but even then, Newton and the Patriots were driving late and fumbled. They should have smashed him in that game. Like, that's one of those games where you got to rise up after all the years that they've held you down. And you got to beat up on them a little bit. And they almost blew that game. So I don't know. Maybe they're hanging on for dear life. Who knows? Pick number 1, Seattle -3. Pick number 2, best if it's gone, but we're laying the 6 with Arizona. So I've been talking about this game all week. I think Miami's win last week over the Rams, which has got a lot of people. Rams 28-17. It's a good win. It's you know what? I'm not gonna say it's a good win. It's a win. It's a win because you go inside the box score. The Dolphins were outgained by the Rams by 326 total yards. I didn't say 26 total yards. I said 326 total yards. Miami was 3 of 12 on third down, and they only held the ball for 23 minutes in that game. Jared Goff made so many mistakes that the Dolphins were able to capitalize, and they won 28-17. But you got to go inside that box score. That thing's a mirage. Tua was 12 of 22 for 93 yards. Arizona's off the bye here. They've been playing really well. I liked it better when it was 4 and 4.5. This thing's kept coming up. I'd still lay the 6. I don't like it as much, but it's going to be one of the picks I make. I'd still lay it. I just think Miami not as good as that win indicates. And I think to myself, if Miami had lost that game last week and you went inside that box score and saw those results, and Tua's throwing for 93 yards and completing barely 50%, and they're getting outgained by 300 yards, I think Arizona might be laying a touchdown here. By the way, Cliff Kingsbury, who I'm not very fond of, I bashed him pretty good when he got that job. Since he's taken over in Arizona, Cardinals are 15-7-1 against the spread. This is insane when I read that this morning. 15-7-1. Pick number 2, Arizona -6. Pick number 3, best of it's long gone here, so I wouldn't put much on it, but I am going to lay the 3 with Washington. This is mostly a spot play. Washington's had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. Still in contention for the division like everybody. Giants just played Monday night. They haven't been very good this year in general. Daniel Jones always good for a couple turnovers. And of the 4 units you're going to see today, Washington offense, Washington defense, New York offense, New York defense, all of them are terrible except Washington's defense. Washington's defense is actually pretty good. I believe they're tied for 5th in opponent yards per play. So I got 1 good unit here, and then I got 3 lousy units. I'll take Washington. These two played each other a few weeks ago. Washington lost the game by 1. All right. I'm not going to call it revenge or anything like that. I just think they have 2 weeks to get ready. The Giants were so close to upsetting Tampa. So close. That would have been such a huge win to beat Brady and pull that off. But they defecated themselves. I said I wasn't going to try to swear on this thing. They defecated themselves at the end of that game. They blew it. Even when they had the opportunity, Daniel Jones was late on that little out route for the 2-point conversion. You got to make that play, man. It's year 2. You got a chance to beat the Bucs on Monday Night Football. You got to make that play. And he couldn't do it. I think that's going to be somewhat deflating for them. Tough to get up after that defeat. Short week, physical game. Washington's rested, laying the 3 with Washington. So those are the 3 sides. Seattle -3, Washington -3, Arizona -6. I've got 2 teasers to round out our card today. And then we'll take some questions. Teaser number 1, Arizona from 6 down to pick 'em. You got all the reasons why I like them. Now in the teaser, I just need them to win the game. And then I'm going to tease them with Kansas City -4. I'm going to take the Chiefs from 10, and then I'm going to bring it down to 4. So that's teaser number 1. With Kansas City, McCaffrey's back for Carolina. Carolina ranks 25th in scoring offense. McCaffrey should help, sure. The big problem here is Carolina's pass rush, or lack thereof. They are terrible at rushing the opposing quarterback. I got notes. Let's get to the notes. 8 sacks this season. 8 sacks. It's the middle of November, for crying out loud. They're 29th in sacks, terrible at generating pressure. They don't score a lot on offense. If you can't pressure Patrick Mahomes, what do you think is going to happen in that football game? Right? Like, you got to be able to generate some pressure. They generate none. They have a pretty good secondary. I think Mahomes gets into them pretty good. I contemplated laying the 10. I did lay the 10 at some spots. I'm not going to give that one out here because I didn't love it that much. But I'm going to take the teaser and I'm going to move them from 10 down to 4. Get it through 7. Chiefs cover 4. Arizona just needs to win the game. That's teaser number 1 and pick number 4. Pick number 5, final pick, second teaser. Again, Arizona as a pick 'em. You can tell a theme here if you're sensing it. Big fan of the Cardinals today. And I'm going to tease them with Tennessee from 6 down to pick 'em. Let me make sure that's where they still are. Yes. Titans have lost 2 in a row. It hasn't been pretty. They lost the Steelers game, which is one we called. Then last week we had them in a teaser, and they got beat outright by Cincinnati. Great win for Cincinnati. Now people are down on them. The Bears are banged up as can be. The offense doesn't score any points. And as good as that Bear defense is, they rank 16th against the run. And that's an issue because you're going up against Derrick Henry and the Titans today. So I think the Titans are able to run the ball a little bit. Tannehill's going to find his way. As bad as the Tennessee defense is, I mean, is it going to matter? Because can the Bears offense take advantage of anything that they might be willing to give them? So that's teaser number 2. Tennessee from 6 down to Pick'em. Tease with Arizona from 6 to Pick'em. So recap all this. If you want to throw any other games in there, throw them in now. I am happy to recap or go through my thoughts on some of these other games because I got some leans, but I haven't necessarily played some of them. We already did Baltimore, Indianapolis. So Seattle -3, Washington -3, Arizona -6, 2 teasers. Arizona from 6 down to Pick'em. Tease it with Kansas City. Take it from 10 down to 4. And then in the other teaser, Tennessee from 6 down to Pick'em. And again, tease it with that. I guess we'll call it, and then we'll be back this afternoon to preview this night game, which I'm going heavy. I'm absolutely going heavy in that game. See if there's anything else. Oh, some subscribers. Nice. I got the alerts. So if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel if you don't mind. It's a humble plea because YouTube has a policy where you can't use your phone or tablet to stream unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So let's get to 1,000 subscribers because I used to use it's basically a way to make my life easier and let me be a little bit more lazy. Because if I can go back to the way I was doing it, it's easier to get the shot framed. Basically, it's just a very selfish ask. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like you're doing anything noble or that. It's basically me begging. It's like if you ever pulled up to the red light and some guy just comes up and asks you for money, that's what this essentially is. I don't want your money. I want your subscription. So if you'd be willing to do that, thank you so much. Total on Baltimore. Better Survivor pick. I'm the last guy you want to ask about Survivor. Probably Houston, but seriously, I get eliminated in the first week almost every year. Don't take my advice on Survivor, Joe. Please, please. And don't ask again. I'm the last guy you want. Total on the Baltimore game. Hey, look, another person just subscribed. Thank you. I get these notifications almost immediately. I'm watching you. I can watch all of you now. I know who's not subscribing. The Baltimore game. 48. Shit. I mean, the money's moving towards the over. I don't know. I would probably, you can't bet NFL unders. It's like anytime, any under you want to bet, you're going to get burned late. I want to tell you the under, but I wouldn't do it. I don't have a play on that. I have no lean. I want to believe Baltimore's able to get it going again. I think both teams want to run. You know, Baltimore wants to run. Indy's probably going to want to run as well. Lean under. Lean under. Let's go. More subscriptions. I'm watching you people. My inbox isn't lighting up. Who wants the shout out? Who wants the random shout out for sending for me getting the email? Pittsburgh versus Dallas over 44 under. Jeez. Over. Pittsburgh Dallas, I would go over. I would not bet it. Over. That's my prediction there. Oh, that's disgusting. Dallas's defense is terrible. That game could be 10-3. All right. Looks like we're good here. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for coming. Most importantly, you guys are awesome. Like I said, I'm going heavy tonight. Heavy. Win or lose this afternoon. I'm coming in minimum 10 bets for Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I'm going to find every Antonio Brown prop out there and make a play. All right. Thank you. We'll be back this afternoon. Whenever that last game goes final, this thing immediately launches. So I'll try to have the video set up so you can get to it early. I'll set the thing up maybe 10 minutes in advance, and then you can go in and be in the waiting room or whatever the hell they call it. Thank you all you're all welcome. No need to thank me. I really enjoy doing this. I guess I like the sound of my own voice. Whatever. We'll be back and tomorrow and Thursday. Remember the Monday Night Football stream, Jets Patriots. Good God, it's the only reason to play that is for gambling. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on Monday, as we do every Monday, and then Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, as we do every Thursday. Those will be the 2 streams after this evening's. Have fun today. Enjoy the games. Good luck on your bets, and I'll see you back here this afternoon. It's going to be very messy, very sloppy. I can tell you that right now. All right, everybody. Thank you.